Hello everyone, I'm Matthew with Basketball Network, and today I'm pleased to be joined by the current assistant coach of the Milwaukee Bucks and someone who has been a prominent figure in the NBA world for 30 plus years now, Mr. Rex Kalamian. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time.
Thank you. Absolutely, yes. Thanks for having me.
A big part of your coaching career was spent in OKC, where Thunder, from 2009 to 2015. Now, as OKC has risen again, we see in the finals a new team. Everybody's kind of comparing the 2012 squad and the current squad. I'm interested to hear, you were there in 2012 with KD, Westbrook, Harden. How does that team compare kind of to this current team? And let's say hypothetical 7-game series, who would you take now?
Wow, that is a great question, and it's a loaded question, right? I've asked some people who were members of that team when I see them throughout the season. I say, well, who do you think would have won? And I think everybody is actually split. This team that they have right now, I would say, is probably the most well-balanced team that we've seen in a very long time. I think, 1 through 12, 1 through 15, anybody could come in and play and they don't miss a beat, right? When there were injuries throughout the season, they continue to just progress and do what they do on a night. They play to their identity very, very well. I would say that with our team from 2009 to 15 and the years I was there, I think that you had very definitive roles. Russell Westbrook did something that nobody else did, right? He attacked the rim. He played with like a force. Kevin Durant was the best scorer in the league. And I would say that even though Shai Alexander scores very much, he also is a great distributor, right? And then James Harden was, coming off the bench and supplying a lot of scoring, even though he played starters minutes, but a lot like Julian Williams does for them as kind of their second scorer. So it would be a really, really fun comparison. I don't know, honestly. That's like for someone else to determine who would win a series. I would just say that it was that team was special. 3 future MVPs on that team, and I think this team is just as special. And they're probably younger than we were, I would say, because we had don't forget now, we had Nick Collison, Derek Fisher towards the end of his career, obviously, Kendrick Perkins, Cabo Cephalosha, right, who probably moved our age needle a little bit, but and we forgot about Serge Ibaka. He was another young guy there at the time. So great teams. Brings back a lot of great memories when I see Oklahoma City doing what they're doing now. It really brought back a lot of fond memories.
Yeah, as a fan, it's great to see them back again. So great effort
for sure.
Let's take to the coaching side. I'm interested to see your perspective. Analytics has become so prevalent into this NBA. Some hate it, some say it kind of simplified the game to just shooting threes. While others think it's made basketball more efficient. I would like to, in your philosophy, do you like to rely on analytics? Do you ignore them, or do you like to kind of use your eye test and then maybe use it as a tool to improve your teams? Where do you stand on analytics?
Yeah, I'm a big analytics person. I believe in analytics. I like, personally, I like taking certain shots on the floor. I believe there's an offensive spectrum of shots that you should teach your team to take. And you need to kind of live by those areas. But then I also think that at some point in the game, the shot spectrum is out the window and you have to take the best available shot, right? And it may not only be the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter in a tight game. It may be, it may be end of quarters. It may be end of shot clocks. So I think that you have to have a shot spectrum that you believe in, but also a little bit of a sliding scale and understand that Like Oklahoma City is a great example. I think they are a analytical team for sure, but they don't necessarily, play an analytical shot game. They don't take a ton of threes. They take a lot of mid ranges, but they're very efficient at those shots. So it's hard.
So about the numbers.
Right.
Awesome. Being an assistant coach basically from 1995, if I'm correct, you've been one of the most decorated assistant coaches. You have great respect around the league, but now do you still kind of have that head coaching job desire, or do you kind of see yourself, okay, I found myself this role, I do this job perfectly, or is there like a level above you think you can still reach in your coaching career?
Well, I think my main goal has always been to be the best assistant coach I can possibly be, and everything will fall into place. I've had a few head coaching interviews over the years, didn't get the jobs, but that's okay. I learned a lot from those interviews, and being in that, in that arena and being thought of as a possible future head coach. I still think I coach now the Armenian national team, so that has given me a new perspective on head coaching for sure. I think 2 years ago in Detroit, I took over and coached 5 games in Detroit as a head coach. So I've had a taste of it, and I understand and respect how hard it is. Not just the coaching, not just when the lights turn on and you play the game, but all of the decisions that you have to make throughout the week, all of the media opportunities that you have to be able to go in and answer questions, there's just a lot that goes into it. And we have so many great coaches in this league.
Only 30 jobs available, so many great minds.
Yeah. It's still something I aspire to do, and I'm not going to, if it happens, it happens. I'm going to just keep working, and hopefully the league sees it and identifies it, and will give me a chance someday. We'll see.
One last question I got for you. In such a long career, you coached, interacted with so many great players. I know it's hard to narrow it down, and that's not all the classical 3 best players. I want to hear maybe 3 guys that you enjoy working the most. They work hard, they implemented the stuff you taught them. What are some guys that are okay, this guy gets it, this guy has the right mentality? Maybe the, let's say, casual fans don't know too much about because they're not the main star.
Right. Let me tell you a little story. In 2020, I was with the LA Clippers. We drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I coached him as a rookie. I was in charge of the defense on that team, so I had a lot of interaction with him, especially defensively. He needed, like most rookies do, he needed to improve defensively. 2 years later, in 2022, I believe, I was in Sacramento and we drafted Tyrese Haliburton. And he was almost the same player as Shai 2 years earlier in terms of his defensive IQ, knowledge, very high, very gifted knowledge, but maybe I should say more physicality.
Tall,
Now, if you would have said to me, this is 2025, if you would have said to me that in 5 years from now, these 2 guys are going to be playing against each other in the NBA Finals. One is going to be on the Olympic team and All NBA and All Star. The other one's going to be the MVP. I probably would have said, you're crazy, right? But that just goes to show you that both guys were very mature and both of them had great knowledge. I loved coaching both of them, honestly. Kevin Russell James, of course. These 2 guys worked their way up to be where they are today.
They are the greats for a reason. Of course. Coach, that was great. We should come more about this. Some great answers. Thank you a lot for your time. Wish you enjoy your time in Treviso, Italy. Teach these young guys, help them reach the next level, and hope to talk to you soon in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.